The Russian ruble has exceeded all expectations now and has regained almost all of its value since the sanctions were first imposed. As you can see, it's been skyrocketing over the past couple days. And if you zoom out to the year to date, you'll be able to see that it was up as high as 0.0134 to the dollar about a month ago, or a couple months ago, sorry, just before the sanctions. Now, it did drop drastically down to basically half of that. But since then, it has come up to nearly every bit of its value that it was before. And you have to bear in mind, this is after all the sanctions. This is in spite of all the sanctions that we thought, or at least what was being memed all through the internet, was being the thing that broke the camel's back of Russia. But apparently it's not, because it has since regained itself nearly to its totality of what it was before. And we have to look at the reasons for this. And I think what it is, there's two reasons. First off, Russia has pegged its worth of its currency now, and gold backed it. If I'm not mistaken, let's see if I can find it real quick. The cost of precious metals in such transactions will be 5,000 rubles per gram of gold. So it has signed a law now that has backed the gold currency, making it a set price of 5,000 rubles per gram of gold. And if I'm not mistaken, you can actually, if you get its equivalent, which is about 1,600 US, they're paying less for a gram of gold with their currency than the US would be paying. Theirs is 1,600 per gram of gold, and US's currency is just under 2,000. So you have to ask yourself which currency is currently stronger. Now, the other big reason why this is happening is just recently, we have these guys. Old Forbes here is saying that Putin reportedly backs down in standoff over ruble payments for gas. So if you guys haven't heard, they cut off Russia from paying for U.S. goods or U.S. stuff in rubles. They can't buy anything in Europe with rubles or anything like that. This is part of the sanctions that have been going on. So Russia says, okay, you know what? Maybe you're going to have to pay for the gas in rubles. So this has been a talk that's been happening over the past week or so. And what will be signed in, or what most of it has already been signed in today, but the rest of it will be finalized by tomorrow, is that Russia demands natural gas payments in rubles. And this is from PBS. Well, actually, it's from Associated Press, and a bunch of different outlets are birding it. I don't know if that's a verb or not. But they say they leave a loophole. Now, what is that loophole? Well, what it actually is that gas payments must be made via Russian bank accounts. So these European leaders are saying that they can save face by paying in euros anyways, but where they're going to be paying it to is by opening accounts at Gazprom Bank, which is a Russian bank, who will then be converting it to rubles. So if they want their oil, whether or not they want to admit, like Forbes doesn't, but the rest of the AP does, including DW, actually. This is from the German newspaper. They're going to have to be paying in rubles one way or the other. If they want to do it immediately or immediately, that's their choice, I suppose. But at the end of the day, Russia's going to be getting their money in their own currency and not by euros. So this weakens the euro, which has been dropping recently. Let's see if I can show you real quick. The drop hasn't been as drastic as what the Russians were experiencing, but the drop is constant. And it's not looking too good for the euro, whereas the ruble, though it took its hits, obviously from the sanctions, it has restored nearly all of its value since 1 month ago. The West has thought that they were going to break the economic back of the Russian ruble and economy. They have failed in this miserably. And maybe that's why we had Biden talking about how we must have a regime change, because they thought that they were going to tank the economy to the point that the people of Russia were going to oust President Putin. But instead we have Biden here giving us this statement.
Today, I want to talk about one aspect of Putin's war that affects and has real effects on the American people. Putin's price hike that Americans and our allies are feeling at the pump. I know
it's been up for a long time. It's been up since your botched pandemic response has caused the natural gas prices and oil prices to surge to try and recover from its losses over the past couple of years, and that was due to your response. Now, you can blame Putin all you want, but fair enough, the reason why you're making this speech about how we're all going to be feeling at the pumps, yeah, it is due to the choices that Putin is making right now in response to your sanctions. And they are crying. Let me tell you something. Let me see if I can just find it right here. Oh, not contracts. There you go. Here's something I found particularly funny. Germany and other Western countries had firmly rejected the demand to pay for Russian gas in rubles. Well, you're gonna anyways. Saying it was a breach of contracts that it had been agreed with Russia. Oh no. You know, like the sanctions that you did when you stole people's yachts. Not just yachts from oligarchs either, but actual money from equity and from different stock options and all that kind of stuff. You have stolen the money of the Russian people. That's not a breach of contract. But this one, apparently it's only when Putin does it that it's a breach of contract. So you can just see them there. They are just crying over contracts. Oh no, the contracts, existing contracts. Oh no, that it's crucial for us that the contracts are respected. It's just ridiculous and hypocritical beyond belief. Anyways, in short, the West has failed in its economic policy, economic war, I should say, against Russia. Provided that nothing changes, it looks like the ruble might just surpass the dollar's buying power. But in any case, it certainly hasn't failed like the policies had tried to do and were trying to brag about right up until this point. All right, that does it for me, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.